What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So now that it's the holiday season, I thought it would be a great time to try something new from a landscaping perspective. This year, and for this video specifically, I thought I'd try something new when it came to my landscape and pathway lights by adding something that's a little bit more festive. So today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing these new pathway lights from a company called Kousbar. Now what's good about these lights is not only are they pathway lights, but you can also mount them on your wall or your fence, or really just put them basically anywhere. And what I like about these also, based on the pictures that I saw, was that they do illuminate the ground with a special colored pattern that looks very festive overall. So we're going to be testing out these solar pathway lights today to see how well they work and how good they are. So like I mentioned previously, we are going to be unboxing and reviewing these pathway lights from Kousbar. Now they did send me 2 packs of these with 6 pathway lights in each pack, so for a total of 12. Now my plan for right now is to install these in the backyard so I can test them out, and then as Christmas comes closer, move them to the front yard where I can pair them with my Christmas lights so it's a little bit more festive. Now immediately what stands out from the box is that these lights are waterproof, they're heat resistant, and they're frost resistant. And with winter coming along and it getting pretty cold out here, this is going to be perfect for the Christmas season. And then the good thing is, and also because they're waterproof, they won't be impacted by rain as well. So perfect for all year-round weather here in Texas and pretty much anywhere else you want to install these. Now again, these are solar powered, so no wires, no cables, no electricity needed. These are simply powered by the power of the sun, just by recharging during the day and then turning on by themselves at night. So let's go ahead and unbox these and see what comes in the box. So as you can tell, I'm right now in my backyard and my plan is to install them here for now just to see how well they work and how they look, so that I know how to move them to the front yard and incorporate it into my Christmas decorations. So let's see what's in the box. Okay, so first you do get your instruction manual as well as installation manual, which is your typical fold-out pamphlet. You get a number of different base styles, and these are some soft plastic material, so it's not that frail plastic material. So these do feel like pretty high quality plastic material. So again, you have your stake that's automatically installed, and all you do is turn it upside down and plug it in. So what's nice is it's got a tight seal on the bottom so that it can hold the stake itself. Because what I find usually happens is, because it's just a connector without this little base, these stakes tend to break off easily, but hopefully this won't, because it does feel a little bit more durable, and there is reinforced plastic to hold the entire stake in and keep, ants or insects from getting in. So hopefully this is going to be just a little bit better, just because there is this base that can sit on the floor, so these also won't wobble around and will sit flat against the surface of the ground when you stick these into the ground. So you do get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stakes for the 6 different lights that you get. And then you also do get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mounting brackets, just in case you want to mount these, let's say, on the fence instead of sticking them in the ground. Now what I do like about this set is that they do come with these mounts, and I actually prefer these. The reason being that, when you have the stakes that you place in the ground, you get either insects, or it gets dirty because of all the mud, or even, it gets damaged when you're getting your lawn mowed or you're mowing your lawn because of either the weed whacker or just having to constantly pull them out so that you can mow that area. So the stakes do get damaged easily, whereas this is mounted, so it's less likely to get damaged, and you don't have to keep pulling it out of the ground when you're doing lawn maintenance. And then you do have options. So there are times when you might want to stake these in the ground, and there are times when you might want to mount them. So you can mix and match so that it suits your needs. So I'd say that's probably one of the best things about this set of lights, is that you have options. Okay, so you do also get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these clear little cylinder things, which I'm not sure what they are. I would assume that you probably mount these to these mounting fixtures, but we'll verify that as we unbox this. Okay, and then of course you get the LED pucks themselves. So again, these are solar powered and they are utilizing LEDs for the lights themselves. And it is a little puck, which I think you screw into these little bases that come with it. So these are some clear textured bases, which allows this light to create those unique colorful patterns. And I think the LEDs also are multicolored as well, based on how I'm seeing these looking, which allows it to have that multicolored pattern that makes it look pretty nice at night. So we'll see as we set these things up what this looks like. So installation is fairly easy. There are grooves in the base itself and then a notch which aligns to the notch on the puck itself. And all you have to do is line them up, stick them in, and should be done and easy to install. So they just lock in place. And then once that's done, all you have to do is plug in the bottom. So you can either plug in just the base itself, like that so, or you can add a little bit more flair to it and plug the clear cylinder into the base, and then plug the base or that cylinder, long tube cylinder, into the top of the base itself, which then not only gives you a little bit more length and height, but also maybe projects a little bit of a different pattern on the ground as well. But I would assume these clear tubes are made more for these mounting brackets to give it a little bit more elevation when you mount it. So installation fairly nice and easy. Okay, so with this light, there are two options when it comes to turning this on. There's on one, which when you use that mode, it emits a white warm light. And then there's on two, which when on, it emits a colorful array of lights. So you have the option to either have a single warm white light, or you have an option to have a colorful array of lights for this thing to display. So if you're not one of those people who enjoys colorful displays of light for your pathway lights or your garden lights, then you have the option for option one, which is the warm white light, which is a single color. But if you're one of those more festive kind of people, then you do have option on two, which allows you to display an array of colors that is very festive and colorful. And I think it should be pretty beautiful, but we'll see when we actually charge these up and set this thing up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and install these. Some of them will be mounted, and then some of them will be staked in the ground so that we can test both setups. And then we'll see if the sun will actually be enough to charge these, and then we'll display these at night and see what the bright warm light looks like, as well as the colorful array of lights and what the pattern is that they display. So let's go ahead and install these. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start by mounting 3 of these on the fence, and we'll start by removing this cover off the solar panel. So satisfying. And then we'll set this on to mode 2, so on 2, for the colorful array of lights. And that way, while we're installing it, whatever sun we have will end up charging this. Now what's good about these is they will turn on and off automatically by themselves because there is a built-in sensor. Now during the day it will turn off and charge using the solar panel at the top, and then when it becomes nighttime it'll automatically turn on when it detects that it is becoming a little bit darker. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some of these mounted using some of the screws that came along with the package as well. Now where I plan to install these is around this little raised bed that I set up. so that it illuminates a little bit during the light and has these little pretty patterns all around it. So I'm going to put a couple of these on the fence around it, and then I'm going to put a couple of them staked in the ground around this raised bed as well. So at night we'll be able to see a little bit what this looks like. Again, we are just putting this in the backyard for testing purposes and to see what it looks like and also how well these things work. And then when it gets closer to Christmas time, we'll move them to the front, assuming that they match with our decorations in the front, and hopefully add these to the decorations in the front to add a more festive feel and highlight our front yard pathway. Okay. We will start by mounting the two on the fence. And I'm just going to eyeball it because we are going to move these anyways. I just want to test these things out and see what they're going to look like. So we'll just eyeball it and not really worry about placement and evenness. Okay, so there's one. Then we will set up a second one. And again, there is 6 per pack, so plenty for this small space that we have right now that I'm going to be testing this out in. And then probably just enough for our front yard pathway lights as well. Okay, so line it up. Remove the film from the solar panel. Put it on 2. I think eyeballing it, it looks pretty good. Okay, and then we'll put a couple of these in the ground. And we'll put these on the white light and see what this looks like, the warm white light. And we'll put this one right here. And what's nice about this right now is that the ground is soft because it just rained, so it's not very difficult to punch these into the ground. Okay, again, attach this and punch it into the ground. So that is installed. So we'll let them charge up a little bit and then we will see what these look like at night. Okay, so as we wait for those garden and pathway lights to charge, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about them and some of the specs that I found on Amazon where you can purchase these lights. So based on the pictures that I've seen, they do emit an amazing array of colors and patterns. Now this pack of 6 pathway lights costs about $50, and if you're buying them now or in the near future, there is also an instant $10 coupon at checkout that you can take advantage of. I'll make sure to leave a link to them in the description section below. Now, like I mentioned before, not only do these pathway lights display a variety of different colors, but they also display a single warm light color as well, depending on your preference. Now they can be mounted or they can be staked into the ground, which is great for a variety of different landscaping, gardening, and pathway layouts. Now when it comes to the build quality, each of the pathway lights are made up of an outdoor waterproof thickened, corrosion-resistant material. And because it is plastic, it is automatically rust-free and also very durable. And then it can also weather different types of weather conditions. Now according to the specs, on a full charge, each of the pathway lights can glow for about 9 to 13 hours after charging the 900 milliamp hour battery for about 6 to 8 hours. Now what that means is that they can work all night and then recharge completely during the day, assuming that you've got a good coverage of sunlight. Now one thing to note is that each of the pathway lights also has 13 high-powered LED lights, and the pattern that it shines is all thanks to the unique design of the clear plastic base, which has a unique design to it. Now based on all the pictures and the images that I saw on Amazon, the colors and the patterns that these pathway lights emit are amazing to look at. However, those are professionally shot photos, so I'm excited to see what they'll look like in person. Now when it comes to the brightness of these pathway lights, each lamp can produce about 80 lumens of light. In addition to that, each of the lamps is also IP67 certified, which means that they're not only waterproof, but they're also resistant to extreme heat and extreme cold weather, including snow. That alone makes these lamps worthwhile from a year-round perspective. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that the lamps have gotten enough charge by now, so let's go back outside and check out what they look like. Okay guys, so it is now nighttime, and after about an hour or two of charging, this is what the lights look like at night. So we're back in our backyard, and as you can see, it didn't take much time to charge, and the lights are pretty spectacular. Now, my wife came out here and was shocked, and she typically doesn't get surprised or isn't very impressed with many things, but she was absolutely stunned and amazed by these lights and loved them. So as you can see, we do have some of the lights that are the warm white color, and they are bright and pretty nice to look at. And then we do have some of the lamps set to the multicolor. And an unexpected pleasant surprise is that they do not just sit there at one color, but instead change patterns and light colors. So something that's unexpected but very nice to look at. So these are the ones on the ground, and as you can see, they are pretty bright and they do illuminate the area around them. And I'm pretty amazed by the color schemes and the number of colors that the multicolor setting does have. And then these are the ones that we mounted on the fence themselves. So as you can see, those are the warm white colors, or the warm white color as I should say. And then we also set some of them on the multicolor, which again is also a rotating color scheme, which is something that I did not expect, but am pleasantly surprised. And together they do look pretty amazing. So after seeing this, we did decide that, we want to leave these lights in the backyard because, it does add a little bit of festive flair to our backyard. So what we're going to do is probably, instead of having them on the ground and on the fence, we're probably going to take all of them and mount them on each section of the fence all the way down to the end of our backyard, and then on the other side as well. And then we're going to alternate between to warm white to multicolor all the way down the entirety of our backyard. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, since we do have 2 packs of 6. So I'll do that probably in the next day, and then we'll show you what the results look like. Okay guys, so I did spend the day updating the placement of the lights, and as you can see, we are again in the backyard, and it's evening time now. So what you're seeing right now is the existing lights that we had previously, which are staked into the ground and shining onto the fence, as well as a few lights that we mounted on the back fence. Now, the placement of the lights that we received are now mounted to the fence. So as you can see, these are the multicolor and single warm white lights. And what I did was I alternated the lights between the warm white light to the multicolored light setting, to the warm white light, to the multicolor light, just to give it a little bit of variety. So I did put 6, since we do have 2 packages of 6, I did put 6 on one side of the fence, and then the other 6 on the opposite side, so that there is some symmetry. So as you can see, they are pretty beautiful, and they do provide a lot of light and a festive feel to our backyard. So overall, I think our backyard looks a lot nicer and more beautiful and very festive with these additional lights that we just added. So they are now all mounted to the fence. So as you can see, it makes our backyard a comfortable and nice, beautiful place to be. So in the end, what do I think about these lights? Well, let's start by talking about what my wife thinks of these lights. She isn't easily impressed by things, but like I mentioned previously, after installing these lights, she definitely was impressed and loved them. and asked that we mount them on the fence. She actually asked me to buy several more so we can outfit the entire backyard, have some on the fence and on the ground. Okay guys, so my final verdict and what I think about these LED pathway garden lights is that they are pretty good quality. For $50, I would definitely recommend purchasing these, and the deal is just even better with that instant $10 coupon off. In addition to that, my wife is the final verdict for me because she is not someone who is easily impressed, and with these lights, she was definitely impressed and loved them. So for me, I'd say these are highly recommended if you're looking for something that's affordable, that work well, and has a pretty rich feature set, and just look good once they're installed. Anyways, I do hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please make sure you support this channel by smashing that like button and subscribing. Please also make sure you ring that bell icon to get notified when I post new content. Now if you do have these lights for yourself, or if you've tried something similar to them, let me know what you think of them in the comment section below. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.